Hey folks, alright, here we go. It's spring at the new property. Spent the winter here and things are thawing out now. Let's take a little tour here. Walk past the tempo. Probably take that down tomorrow. It's all thawed out. We do have some water issues here. Looks like there's a bit of a low spot right here that's going to have to be taken care of so we can get that water drained and running faster down there to get out of here. I don't like standing water. Nobody likes standing water. You see it there beside the big storage shed, just kind of sitting there. I'm walking in it right now. Anyway, there's the balance of the snow that's left on the property. Huge patch, maybe 3 feet by 2 feet. This rock wall here looks pretty solid, so we'll be leaving that in place. Some rocks here that have fallen down across the property line, we'll be moving those, taking care of them, using them on other projects, whatever we can. Anything that's on this property is going to be moved. Again, more standing water over here too. This stuff's a little bit deeper. There are quite a few inches actually here, 3-4 inches in places, just standing water. So yeah, I can see the lay of the land. It's higher over there, lower here. I don't want this stuff sitting here, so we're gonna have to do something to grade this down a bit. I don't know what yet. We'll see. Anyway, these little trees here, these are goners. Don't know what they are. Don't want them. Don't want to wait till they're too big that I need a permit to deal with them. So yeah, all these trees along here are growing out of the rocks. Those are goners. Shouldn't be too hard to rip those out. A couple more starting here. Not even sure what they are. It could be willow or something, but I don't want them, so they're gonna go. I do want trees. We're gonna be putting some trees in here somewhere, but I don't want those. Let's walk around here, and we're gonna get to what's gonna be one project. That metal table there, all this stuff here. Well, not that plastic bin. You got the grinding wheel there. We have the railroad track anvil and a big vise there. All that is going to be turned into a blacksmith station. A little grinder there. Turn this into a blacksmith station. Not everything here is for blacksmithing. Some of it's just pieces of hunks of metal and stuff that I've picked up and going to use in some blacksmithing projects. You got the forge there. Got to strip the paint off of that table. Get the forge installed into it, and we'll be good to go. I also get another stump for that anvil, because that's just way too low to work with. These old barrels here, I think the old owner used to use this to put their ashes in. Kind of rusty. Holes in them. Not much use for these. I might keep one of them, the best one or whatever, is a burn barrel maybe, but it's starting to rust out on the bottom. See if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, you see they're rusting right out. Keep the best one, get rid of the rest. Over there you can see my woodshed, and it didn't totally survive the winter. Took a look at it, and it's got some rot to it, so we're gonna have to fix that up. My generator and some gas is under here, but this whole piece here stood up along the middle, and the tarps that you see were attached to that to make kind of a roof tarp system. That's going to have to be redone, rebuilt for the fall. You can see what happened here around there. All the wood's rotten. water got in there. That's going to have to be redone, rebuilt. And I still got about probably a little over a cord, maybe up to a cord and a half of the fresh wood that I ordered in. I ordered in 10 cord for the winter. That lasted me here. Interesting, 10 cord didn't always last at my old place. So, a bit of a bigger stove, pumps out a little bit more heat. Here we have the trailer. Still sitting here from the move. Few things, couple of generators on there. Lawnmower, some oil, propane cans, things like that. Chainsaw sticking out of there. This is where I do my wood splitting, cutting on that bench, splitting. My axe fell down again. A couple axes. There's a pile of some wood that we're going to have to get cut up, split up, and piled in. Some of the lumber there, that's from a project inside. That'll be cut up, used for kindling. As you can see, lots of dead standing here. It's all going to have to come down. The municipality's kind of itchy about stuff like that, though. I'm going to have to get in touch with them and see what I need for a permit. This tree here, this tall one up there, that is completely dead. That's going to have to come down before it falls on the house. I did have a tree fall here last year. Fell in my trailer. You can see the damage there. Big nasty dent in the trailer. That'll give you a better idea. That's going to have to be fixed. So these dead standings are going to have to come down. Not all of them are big like that. A lot of them are. Yeah, there was a free chemical toilet. I get that cleaned up. Probably use that as a spare. If the bombs drop, I can poop in that. We'll get it cleaned up later. As you can see, lots of wood here, branches, all sorts of stuff. Kind of looks like they've been piling it up here for a little bit anyway, whenever branches fell. So we get that cleaned up. And in and around here, we're going to put in some fruit trees once we get this dead stuff cleared out. That's a bit more sun. I'm looking for a couple of apple, a couple of pear trees, and after that it's going to be nut trees. But the nut trees, you know, a huge rock. Somebody spent some time painting that rock. Interesting. Somebody had an excessive red paint here, and like everything's painted red. Property goes up this little hill to get up top of that rock wall. And bit of a nice slope here. I might like to put some garden here. As you can see, it's getting lots of sunlight already. It's about, what, 1:32 in the afternoon here, so it's a good afternoon sun. And as we go up this hill, it looks like I've got some raspberry, possibly blackberry. Thorns are pretty small on that. Can I even... The tiny little thorns on that, so I'm going to assume that's raspberry, not blackberry. Again, lots of just waste wood that needs to be dealt with here. Sticks like this one, yeah, that can be cut up and used for outdoor fires or kindling or whatever. But if you take a look at this birch, don't know when it came down, but it's pretty much rotten already. Just breaks right apart with a foot like that. I might use stuff like that I find in a garden. Forget what kind of a garden bed wicking bed. That will soak up water and rot into the ground, give nutrients in. Plenty of it around here. Some more of it down on the ground over there. Bunch of standing fir trees here. Again, these are young trees. They're going to be below the diameter of what I need to have a permit to cut them out. So get them out now before they overtake. I think some of the bigger trees behind it might be oak. There are acorn shells all over the ground here, everywhere. So I know I've got oak. I'm going to be looking for other nut trees though. I'm thinking of walnut. Definitely a Korean pine. I want those pine nuts. But now, as you can see, we've walked around to the top of that rock wall. There's that little patch of snow beside the shed. Up along here is where I want to put probably a lot of my nut trees. Edge of the property is up over where those big red blocks are. That's the corner there. So if I can get some nut trees in here, maybe a walnut. I know the Korean pine's a good 100-foot tree when they get mature. Maybe up here would be a good place for that. We'll see. Again, more raspberry growing here. So we'll let raspberry grow, but these other nasty things, I think they're willows or something, I don't know. To me, they're overgrown weeds and useless. Tear those out. All these along here. There's my weather station. A little bit of a breeze today. Lots of tall trees. I'm going to be getting up a ham radio antenna soon. 'Tis the time of year. Best time to do it. Get that up. I'll put my dipole up, and I'll probably put one up, set it up as an NVIS somewhere around here. There's plenty of space here to put it up. A little NVIS and then a dipole. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use a ground plane or the J pole for my 2 meter 440, 2 meter and 70 centimeter stuff. We'll figure that out later. Not a big deal. 2 meter 440, that may be, well actually right now I am completely portable on that. I don't have anything, any big rig that runs off of mains power for that. I'll go back along here. Inside the woodshed, gets a lot shadier here, so nothing much to plant here. These two trees, these are plum trees that the last owner put in. And these things, man, I missed the harvest when we moved in last fall. We were just too busy moving to get it done. But these two trees, man, hundreds of plums. Hundreds and hundreds of plums from these two trees. You're seeing it now, it's getting the light. It's in a good spot. I'm not going to bugger with this too much. Probably ask somebody some advice about trimming it down a bit because it is a bit wild. I don't think anybody's done any pruning on this ever. So we'll look into that, see if I have to get any pruning done on it. But yeah, literally hundreds and hundreds of plums coming off of that tree last year. If we go down here, I'm not sure I can even do that safely. We'll try. It's all loose fill rock here. 6-inch, 8-inch rock and bigger. Try to walk downhill on that stuff and you can easily slip, fall. This bush looks interesting. It might be some kind of intentional berry bush. It looks like it was planted here. There's a couple of them. We'll see what it produces. Oh look, greenery. It is spring. There's that green thing right there. Look at that. Spring is springing. Again, more downed wood everywhere. We're going to have to get the chainsaw out one afternoon with the boy. Get that dealt with. Contact the city about some of this standing stuff. What to do about it. I mean, I know a full tree I need a permit for, but like this one right here, it broke right off. I don't even know if I need a permit for that, but we'll ask the city just in case. And we'll salvage what we can, but if you look at it, there's another one right beside it, another standing dead, completely burrowed into. Not sure what's doing it. Could be a woodpecker, could be insects. Yeah, not really sure what's been going into that, but obviously this has rotted out. Probably no more good. Actually, we'll see. It might burn. Might be able to use that for heating wood. Some of that stuff that's down. These branches everywhere that have fallen off these dead trees, dead and dying trees everywhere. To get them cut out and get the health of what we keep back up. Down this area here, a lot closer to the road. This table, man, it's got to be 14 or 16 feet long, and it's solid steel. And you can't even lift one corner of this by hand. It has to be repainted, and this is probably going to be a gardening table. I don't know if you saw in the videos earlier, but I got a lot of buckets, and we're going to be planting buckets of tomatoes and other stuff. Probably put them on this table for this year so we can get a real garden installed. There's a few things I do want to grow this year. Tomatoes is one of them. Green beans, yellow beans, things like that. Let's get rid of that branch for now. A cute bench back there. See what we do with that. Over here we have the old surface well. I'm not going to open it up right now, but as far as I know, there's still water in there, going in there. We are running off of a deep well, so having this old surface well available to us is fantastic. Down there we've got an ABS pipe sticking out of the ground, maybe about 3 feet long, but I'm noticing, you probably can't see it on the camera, I'm noticing the ground around it is very depressed, and I'm thinking that's an old septic system, so I kind of want to avoid walking there. And it would be weird if it is, because the well is right there, and an old septic 10 feet away from it. I don't know what that is, but I think I'll just leave it alone. You're down here, lumber on the ground. This was obviously at one point a garden bed that hasn't been taken care of for years. And all of this stuff here is sumac, which I want. I love sumac. I want sumac on the property. It's here, but some of these are going to have to come out because it's a little bit invasive, that stuff. And if you look down towards the road, sumac everywhere, all along the front. That's where I don't mind it. Going down the hill into the ditch, lots of sumac there, everywhere. This one up here, I don't want. He's too close. You have to get rid of him. But yeah, and that big rock there, well, just on the other side of it, you can't see it. There's a property marker there. That's where it ends. The neighbor has these, look like Scotch pines, maybe? Some kind of pine trees here growing. It used to be a driveway or something, and he planted in a bunch of pines. But yeah, the sumac and the crud around here is just getting a little bit out of hand. Clear that out. I don't want that sumac because it's starting with, there's even one here by the table. Starting to get unruly and needs to be cleaned up. Now this I thought would be an awesome place to put the garden. And I thought I would just have a truck back right up. You can see my truck is there, so you can back a dump truck or whatever right up here and just dump a big load of topsoil for a garden. I've got the rocks there already to contain it on one side, just fill in some gaps maybe, all the way up to this table that I'm leaning on, and go up maybe 20-30 feet here. The problem is, you can see some of these holes that were being dug. Last fall, we got a letter from the city saying that we were a year behind emptying the septic system. I know it's here somewhere, but we never found the cover. And we did look. Geez, did we ever look? There's got to be 30, 40 holes here dug looking for it. And I'm thinking, now I'm being told by somebody who's supposed to be in the know, it's probably right around here, right under the back bumper of my truck somewhere. Probably right here. Anyway, I got to get going on that in a few days because the city's going to want to see proof of that septic being emptied. You see where we are, we've come full circle. There's the back of that woodshed right there that needs to be fixed up. This tree, decorative, purely decorative, and it's going to go. You see these big, huge white flowers on it. It kind of looks like a giant peony tree. I don't like the flowers. I don't like the way they look. It's totally useless to me, so out it goes. There's another one of them back there. Let me widen this back out. I think I'm still zoomed. Yeah, there we go. A bunch of bushes here that are going to have to come out of this bed. And another one of those stupid trees right here beside the front steps. And I've already pruned this one back because it was annoyingly in the way of my front door. That has to be taken care of. So that's a little tour of the property. I didn't show everything, obviously, but that's the way it runs here. Big handrail for the winter. That was a great idea because this driveway gets kind of icy at this point. Big steel. Everything that was done here was overdone. This is all 2x6, very solid. 4x4 posts. Big steel handrail. We'll give that a little paint job. That won't take long. Make it look good. Again, red and green. Everything here was red and green. It's like a giant Christmas story here. And that's it. I mean, as you can see, all the snow is gone, but I still have water running off at a good pace too. See that? Right down into the ditch. Go down here towards the road. You see the water running down the ditch here. Quite the flow. That way. Yeah, there's more of that birch falling down. What is it with birch falling down in this area? Anyway, you can see it's... Let's take a closer look. There's flow here. Obviously. You can hear it. But I don't think that flow is as heavy as what's over here. What's coming off of my driveway is adding to it. That ditch has got to be cleaned out. The city might come along and do that. We'll see. But there's a lot of water coming off of my property still. You can see the whole driveway is it's full sun. It's dry over there where it's not running, but the whole rest of the driveway is just soaked still. We're going to have to figure that out. I'm wondering if there's an exposed spring up by where they dug out for that rock wall all the way up there. Yeah, that wall where we were before. Over in that corner where it's a couple feet deep. That might be a spring that somebody uncovered there, and I don't know how we're going to deal with that. A couple things I did get in, planted last fall. Here we have rhubarb, and the rhubarb is up and coming up. There it is. Over in this ring, I think these are just concrete rings, kind of the thing you would find on top of a well or a septic tank or something. There is my high bush blueberry. I'm not sure if he survived. Close look. Yeah, I think I see him budding a little bit. He might come back. We'll see. Grab some of that grass out of there. he might come back. That'll be nice. We've got a third ring over there I got to find something for. This whole area here. Oh, look, more snow. I don't know what kind of plant this thing is. I don't know if I want to keep it or not. It looks kind of funky. But it stayed green even though this was completely piled up with snow this year. This whole area is one of the dumping grounds for my snow removal guy. He would blow the snow right into here. And that thing has survived nice and green all winter long. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep him. We'll see what he is. We'll do some investigating first, see what he is. And if he's useful, we'll definitely keep him. And if not, well, we'll think about it. Because, I don't know, I like something that stays green all year long. Here we are back up again. Beside the tempo. You can see that marker right there. There's my deep well. Completely on the other side of the house and on the other side of the property is my septic system. Whatever's in that old bathtub, I don't know. That'll go too. Pull that out. And that looks like it was an old well too. Maybe that other one down there was an old septic system and that's the old shallow well. Maybe the way it works. We'll see anyway. But there's some raspberry and blackberry and stuff growing in down there. I'm going to pull out all the stuff that's growing like weeds. These darn trees, I don't know what they are. They grow everywhere. Could be poplar or something like that. They're basically overgrown weeds. They're going to be pulled out of the rocks, pulled out of the ground. And we're going to let the blackberry and raspberry propagate on its own there. So that's the property. By the way, this whole part here, that hill covered in rocks, that's not mine. That belongs to the neighbor. If we look up there at those red blocks, the block to the far left is exactly on, yeah, that one right there. Dead center is the corner of my property. Comes along down here, and there's a marker right there for the property. That's one marker. There's another marker over there somewhere. See if I can find it. There it is, red marker. So it does pretty much a straight line all the way across the bottom of this and then up again to that red block there. This all is not mine. I'm going to assume he threw this rock down to hold back the earth, to keep it from sliding down. But again, all these rocks are nice sized rocks, like foot and a half rocks. Those are going to be great for projects, but I got to figure out a way to move them. I'm probably not moving that one by hand, and I know I'm not moving that one by hand, or a lot of these that are down here. The ones that are out on the flat ground, we're going to get rid of those. Have to dig a ditch. Maybe if I dig a ditch, just a little 6-inch to a foot ditch, and run it down the bottom of this property line here. Get rid of the water somehow. But yeah, there's standing water everywhere here. As you can see, the water that's flowing isn't melt off because there's nothing left melting here. So I got to figure out where we're going to go and how we're going to get rid of this standing water, because it's got to go. Can't have this here. All right, folks. So we got lots of projects to record and to get done. Over the course of the spring and summer here. You're going to see a lot more coming up on YouTube. You have a brand new property. You need to get it fixed up, get some projects done. Plenty to do. Front gate for when we're not closed or we don't want visitors. Close that up, lock it up. And that's that. So that's the new property. That's where we are. Not much got done last fall. A couple things got planted because we moved them. But that's it. So lots to do, lots to get done, and we'll see you in the next video. I don't know what we're going to start with. Probably some cleanup and stuff. We'll show you how that progress works, and we'll take it from there. So in the meantime, don't forget, folks, be prepared, Canada. It's a tough world out there.